to share this space with a friend of ours who had his own podcast.
It's like
and
a
he had
sports
this
podcast.
big, obnoxious, custom-made desk that we had to navigate around.
I will say.
It was huge. You know what he did?
What?
He threw it out. He busted it up and threw it out.
Why?
Because he moved. He couldn't take it with him.
I guess he could have donated it or
It's
something.
like a $600 table.
I know,
He just
that's like-
busted it up.
Pretty shitty to do that, actually.
Yeah.
Because people need... I could have used a desk.
The Restore probably would have took it if nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
I think they do pickups too. Some of those in some cases, from what I understand.
Really?
I'm not sure. That's what I heard.
Huh. At the risk of sounding rude, how do you pronounce your last name?
You could say Nicosia.
Okay.
That's how most people.
Nicosia?
Nicosia. If you're in Sicily, it's Nicosia, but here people say
Ooh,
Nicosia.
That's fun.
I kind of like
Yeah.
the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nicosia.
you could say Nicosia. That's the proper way, the actual way to pronounce
Well,
it.
how do
but-
you pronounce it? Not how does everyone
Yeah,
pronounce
exactly.
As long as you don't say Nicosia, because that drives me
it?
fucking crazy. I don't know how
No.
people. Nicosia is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nicosia it is.
I feel like
Perfect.
this is an Italian problem. Italian problems.
It's definitely.
Well, I was just telling him
definitely a
before.
problem.
People think my name is Crescenzo, but it's Crescenzo.
Yeah,
Crescenzo. No, it's not. Sorry.
and we live in one of the highest concentrations of
Of
Italian
Italians.
ancestry.
I know, you would
Exactly.
think.
Yeah.
I once heard someone at an Italian festival call a dish baked ziti.
Ziti?
Ziti.
What the? Did you slap them?
No, I just gave a disgusted look.
I would have
like,
looked at them and said, "Would you like a nice pep pie? Would you like a pep sauce?
it was so
Nice
weird.
cold pep pie?"
Were you like this?
Yeah, just disapproval all over my face.
Scowl.
Although I'm sure I murder things from like other languages too. You know, like do you say kolbas or do you say kobasi?
I say kielbasi
They
because I'm a
say
dumb white
kolbas.
person.
Polish
Same.
people. So
They say,
we're
what
wrong.
do they? Wait, what do they say?
Kolbas.
Kolbas?
Yeah, a lot of
Huh.
times. Or not. Or kielbasa.
Is it
Depends where they're from, like dialect.
caramel or caramel?
I say caramel.
I say caramel. Always have.
Do you say pecan or pecan?
Well, here's what.
Pecans.
See, this goes back to what I was going to just say about caramel. When I'm just talking about the substance itself, I say caramel, but I say caramel apple for some reason.
Caramel
Huh.
apple.
And the same thing with
Caramel
pecan and
apple.
pecan. It's pecans. It's pecans unless it's like pecan pie or something. I don't know.
Oh, so if it's like
If there's a word
joined
after it,
with something,
maybe it changes.
changes.
I don't fucking
Maybe
know.
your last name works the same
exactly,
way.
yeah. If you say my middle name, then you pronounce it one way.
Yeah.
Oh man, you guys are blowing my mind right now. Now I'm trying to think of other words that have like two things.
That's
there's
definitely
so
like a whole-
many. Like
You could do a whole podcast on that.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
even in Jersey, like people talk differently. North Jersey versus there's Central
Yeah,
versus
we are in.
South.
We're
There's
in
100%
Central.
Central
I
Jersey,
mean,
and
the-
anybody that says there's not, they don't.
I
they
think
don't
it's
get it.
split
This
really
is-
into like 5 or 6. Honestly,
This
I
is
think there's
definitely
like
part
Jersey
of Central,
Shore.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like
Monmouth,
even Jersey
Middlesex,
Shore.
and parts of Ocean County are Central Jersey, and then I feel like you take everything, Somerset, Mercer too can be Central Jersey, but like Somerset.
I think
and up,
Driscoll is the cut, the
Yeah,
Driscoll Bridge.
that's a good cut.
But like, there's even with North Jersey, it's like there's like North Jersey with city people and North Jersey with crazy mountain people. So it gets
The city
different.
people just pretend the mountain people don't exist.
Yeah.
That's how they go.
You're right. You're absolutely
I
right.
think everyone
It's not
pretends
there.
the mountain people
There's
don't
no
exist.
such thing as Sussex and Warren County.
It's like in
They ignore
South
that.
Jersey, the Pineys,
Oh,
and
yeah.
everyone says they talk weird down there. They say phone and
Yeah.
home.
Oh my God, that's how they talked in
it's,
Delaware.
It's Philly.
Yeah,
It's called
it's
called
Philly.
hoagie mouth.
Ah!
That's the
all
industry
those
term
stupid
for it.
Johns, right,
Yeah.
Dave?
Yep. It's
Yeah.
called hoagie mouth.
Everything's a John.
Oh,
Everything's
man.
a John. My boyfriend lives in Philly, and I'm like trying to get used to all that crazy
Does he have
talk.
hoagie mouth?
No, he's from Bridgewater,
Oh, that's
so
good.
Okay,
he does
good.
not. But everyone
Yeah.
around there does.
It's like Hockessin, like weird, like ocean city, like weird, like
Yeah.
they have such
I
a
don't
weird
like it.
draw. Dave, I'm gonna test buttons again.
Go for it.
Human fecal matter.
But my favorite one.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, I'm fixin' to fuck you.
So good.
Do you like my erection selection?
Sounds like it's working.
Yeah, that should be. And
I think you just wanted to hit the buttons.
I did want to hear the button, but I wanted to also make sure they were loud enough. Perfect. All right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't have an intro. That sucks.
That's okay.
We'll
know
just
what?
pretend. Let's make one.
This will be our intro. I went on a power trip.
That
I went on a
was too
power
many
trip.
buttons.
I gotta stop.
Gotta make sure they work.
Someone's got to stop. Maybe you can help us come up with an intro.
Like write a jingle.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
That would be fun. I like doing that stuff.
That would be fun. But anyway, get this out of the way. Guys, welcome back. It's been a long time, but we're still alive.
We're still here.
I thought I was going to die a couple times. It was touch and go. But welcome back. Thank you if you stuck around. I know we definitely did lose a couple subscribers.
Did we?
We sure did.
Well,
Numbers are in the
it's
toilet
okay.
right now.
We'll get it back.
Yeah, it's
had
time to
some
bounce
lag.
back. It's time to bounce back for sure, for sure. But we're not alone.
We're not.
We're not. We have
We
a
have a
guest.
guest.
I'm not even
I'm
kidding you.
stoked.
Like seriously, I'm nervous. It's
I
been
see.
so.
You're
much-
nervous.
What's
You're
going?
using me as the first guest to boost your subscribership. Like this is done from the beginning.
So much pressure.
I mean, I'm just gonna like close it up here.
Holy shit! Well, welcome to the show, Michael. Oh my God.
Oh, he's
We just had this
panicking.
conversation, Nicosia.
Yep.
Nicosia.
I'm the worst person. Yeah, go ahead, Nick. Keep that in. I'm an idiot.
That's all right.
Holy shit! I'm sorry, dude. Thank you so much for coming by and hanging with us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, anytime. I have the worst timing.
We both literally sipped at the same
Yeah, I
time.
have the worst timing. I told you, I'm nervous. It's been a while. I'm not.
What did I miss?
I haven't.
You didn't get the sipping cue.
Did I have a stroke?
Yeah. All right, take two. Let's do it again. No, like I said, like seriously, I'm genuinely like nervous and like anxious because it's been a long time. First of all, since I sat here with everybody,
Yeah.
and two, since we had anybody come wanting to hang out with us.
I know, and this
it's
is
really
a great
cool.
one.
Yeah, I'm really. So you've been talking about this for a while,
Yeah.
definitely.
I really have. I've been
She
trying
has.
to
That's awesome.
get it.
Thanks.
She really has.
It's
and I'm
even
like,
more pressure. Just keep
No.
piling it up.
No. There's zero pressure here. Trust me. I'm gonna smoke a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you are the owner and operator of Relic Music, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
it's a music.
Specialty store.
Musical instruments,
Instruments, not-
sales
yeah.
and service.
Mhm.
No, mostly focused on guitars, amplifiers, effects pedals.
Mhm.
No band and orchestral, no saxophones, tubas, sousaphones,
Okay.
nothing like that.
A sousaphone.
I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know why I just
Sounds
said
like something
that.
from Dr. Seuss. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
It
I was
probably
like,
is. It probably is, honestly.
you said that, and I was like, I want to buy one.
No. Yeah. All right, we'll have to look into that now, though. Yeah, no, we mostly, I only sell stuff that I know would love, and we can also service and support. You know?
I love that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You've been into music your entire life.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I have, a lot of people who play instruments, they fall in love with either like a band or a piece of music and they want to like learn how to play. Like I got to figure out how to play that solo or I got to do this. For me, it was about like hearing certain guitar sounds and how do they make that, how do those sounds come out? How do they make them? What are they using? And that kind of set me down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, so not just like the guitar itself, but all of the amps, the gear,
Exactly.
the pedals.
Yeah, I was more interested in how do they sound like that instead of how do they play that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that's always kind of been the way it's been for me.
Now, do you just curate? Like you just search around and find special pieces that you want, or do you make your own instruments or pedals or whatever?
For me, like right after college, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. So I ended up working in a music store. My first day of work at this music store was September 11th, like the actual September 11th.
Okay.
What? Wild.
Yeah. And then I did that for like 2.5 years. And then I was like, okay, like I'm in my, mid 20s or whatever, time to kind of do something different. I always loved it though. I always kind of loved it. And then, I had like, a real grown up job or whatever you want to call it. And then when
a big boy job.
Yeah, I really missed it. So I started working at a shop part-time. I was only going to stay for about a year. I ended up staying for 2.5. And then I left, and then I came back my old colleague asked me to come back and kind of run the place, which I did. Did that for a little bit over a year, and then when we parted ways, I started Relic, and I started it in January of 21, and we opened up in October of 21. But it's basically the store I've always wanted to shop in.
Nice.
There's a lot of stores already that sell the stuff you can find in the big box stores, like your big brands and whatever. And we do a little bit of that, but mostly
This is like niche.
yes, stuff
yeah.
that you can't find anywhere
Basically like
else.
a boutique.
Yes, it's very
Yeah.
curated. I work with the brands I want to work with, and I genuinely love it. Like anybody that asks me how much money do you make doing this? Do you do this to make money? If you have a brain in your head, you don't open a music store to make money. If you're lucky enough and passionate enough about it, you'll be successful. But that's not the reason to do it. There's a million other things you could do to make money faster, better, easier.
Course, yeah.
But for me, it's it's
Passion,
what I absolutely
yeah.
love, and I've had a ball so far.
Yeah.
And you're in Red Bank.
Yeah,
That's
Monmouth
New
Street.
Jersey for
Central
Yes.
Central Jersey.
Central
Central
Jersey.
and am I to be correct when I say that there hasn't been a music store there since Monmouth Music?
Yeah, so in
2018?
2019, I think they closed.
Okay.
Their original owner sold it to somebody else. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but they closed up in 2019. I remember I used to go into Red Bank, and there was like 2 or 3 music stores at any given time, and it was always fun to go down there and see it. And I looked in a couple different places, but really, I feel like I could have done this anywhere, but I always loved Red Bank, and they were missing a music store since Monmouth Music closed. And people ask me all the time if there's any affiliation. There's not. We're a completely separate entity, company. And the old owner actually came into the shop once or twice to check it out, which I thought was pretty
Oh, that's
cool.
really
Yeah.
cool.
And I
That's
think
cool.
that's a great location to have a shop like yours, like in Red Bank and Monmouth County, like Jersey Shore specifically. There's so many musicians that come out of this area and are looking for that kind of store.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's been really cool. Right up the street from the Basie, so like basically anybody who plays there,
Yep.
and it's been
Oh,
an
I know where
adjustment.
that is.
It's been an adjustment for me because like we'll have guitar techs come in, and this one time like we were open for like 4 months, and a tech came in for a band and asked how many sets of this one particular string set we had, and I told them, and then they bought all of the sets, and I'm like, well, this is horrible. Now I'm the only store in the United States without this specific type of string. I felt like, okay, I got to do a better job of ordering, or at least hold something back. But it's been a nice learning curve, and it's been again like a hoot.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's cool. It sounds fun, and it's like, it sounds cheesy, but it's serious. If you're doing something you love, it's not work, right? Like,
100%. So my ex-wife, she really was encouraging for me to do this. She followed her dream. I always supported her to do that, and encouraged her. And she was, she was telling me to do this for years. But I was like, nah, it's this and that. But I'm happy I did it for sure. It's been awesome.
That's great.
awesome. I love that. You love to hear that. Like,
I know. And so the first time I came into your shop, I came for the synthesizer demo.
Yeah, with Natalie
class.
from Korg.
And that
oh
was
wait, what they do? You guys do all
mind-blowing.
kinds of demos and
There's
stuff.
demos
I wanna
for
come
these
hang out.
products.
Yeah, so
cool.
we do lots of events and stuff like that. The last one we did in April with Emily Hopkins. She's a harpist who does pedal demos on YouTube and stuff. She's really
Amazing.
successful channel. And Andy Pitcher, who's one of my favorite guitar players. He also does a lot of really great stuff with effects pedals, which is kind of like, my big passion. I've been into that since like the late 90s, early 2000s. And the next event we're having is we're doing, I try to do like one show a month on a Saturday.
That's nice.
Yeah, anything more than that, it's just with everything going on with the shop, it's just too hectic.
Well, you don't want it to be too constant either. It has to be special.
Yes. So we're
Yeah.
doing the East of the Wall record release show at the shop on June 8th. And then, July 8th.
I was
July
going to
8th.
say June 8th. Good day.
Well, June 8th is a really big deal for me because we are hosting Matt Talbot from one of my all-time favorite bands, Hum.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing a solo set at my store,
That's
which to me it's so crazy because
so cool.
if I didn't listen to that record, that You'd Prefer an Astronaut, when I got that record in '95, that's one of the ones that literally spiraled me down the guitar sound rabbit hole. That's the one, really, that record. And now to have a store and to have the guy who literally got me into
Dude, I
guitar
literally just
sound.
That
got
like
chills.
I
playing at
know.
my store.
I was like, my
I got
heart.
weird chills. Yeah,
Like
it's-
that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably start choking up and crying on your
Oh,
show.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
it's
absolutely
gonna
horrible.
be full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yo, you're the reason I have this shop. Like,
Yeah.
if you think about it, yeah.
Yeah, and it was cool because we, for my bachelor party years ago, my band took me out and recorded at the studio. We did like 2 songs, which was like,
That's cool.
some people think that's the coolest bachelor party ever, but most people are like, that's the lamest.
No,
bachelor
No,
party
that's
fuck that.
awesome.
Yeah, no, we had a good time, and
Yeah.
it's, everyone's like, "Are you gonna be able to keep it together?" I'm like, "Yeah, obviously." I'm gonna keep it together. Like we have higher profile customers coming in all the time.
Yeah.
I hate that when people get all crazy for people. They're just normal people.
I know.
Exactly,
I don't
yeah.
really get starstruck. I don't know. I've met
I have
like
a
a few
couple
famous
times.
people, but
But it wasn't like I wasn't like
yeah,
I'm just very quiet. Like
yeah. I just like thank them
Yeah.
and
Who'd
Try to be
you
nice.
get starstruck over?
Ash Costello
Okay.
from New Year's Day.
Mhm.
I about pissed my pants. So it was the meet and greet after the show, and there was about 50 of us in the room. Her handler, he's like
Hansler.
yeah, like her manager or whatever.
Oh, the way you phrased it, I'm just picturing like a monkey with its handler, or
Well,
like,
like-
an animal. You know,
Well,
like
I mean, is there a
That
better?
was right. No, you guys.
No,
Okay,
I know
yeah, yeah,
I
it's
think
right.
it is. I think
but
it is.
just,
Called, maybe there should be a new
I'm
word
sure
for that.
it's right, but like that's also what they call it for animals.
Yeah.
So.
But he's like this tough guy. He's like, don't look at her breasts. Don't go in for a hug. Don't do anything. This.
'Cause there's
Don't
probably
do,
so
don't-
many
The
creeps.
fact that he has to even say that.
Yeah.
But what's
You
crazy
know things have
is-
happened then.
And Melissa's my witness. She walks in the room. Everyone goes bananas. I'm just staring at her like, oh my God, she's like the perfect woman. Like, she's so hot. She says hi to everybody, runs over to me, gives me a big hug, looks at me and says, "You were my light. I saw you singing every word to every song and dancing the whole set."
Now who's getting goosebumps?
Did you
And then she
pass
gave me a
out?
kiss. I was like, and then in the picture, like she's all like cheek to cheek with me.
Oh
It was
my
it was the coolest moment. It really was. But that
You
was
had to be kneeling.
was my
How would
moment.
you be cheek to cheek with her?
when we sat down for the
Yeah.
picture. Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
kind
that
of
was-
similar to the only time I ever got starstruck, except it was a guy named Tom Oberheim, was in his 70s and made one of the best synthesizers of all time. That's like the only, we didn't kiss. He didn't kiss me on the cheek, and we didn't go cheek to cheek. But I did ask him for a picture. That's literally the only time.
Yeah, yeah.
It was at one of the NAMM shows, and he was like just sitting at his little table by himself, and I was like, ah. So, yeah. Similar situation, really.
Aw.
That's
Very,
awesome.
Very, very much the same.
Cool. Yeah, so that's going to be an exciting show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I told you we were having planning for burial in August, and
Yeah.
then
My friend's band.
Really?
Tom, yeah.
What kind of music? If I had a guess, was it planning for a burial? They're hardcore.
Yeah.
No.
He's interesting. So
Metalcore?
it's like, I don't even know how to
he
describe his music.
Well, the one thing I asked him, and I'm waiting to hear about, is he going to do a loud set or a quiet
Yeah,
set?
you
That's-
don't know.
Yeah, it's
So
Really?
it's really just him usually who gets up, and he plays a lot of like basement shows and things. That's
Okay.
where I've seen him like in New Brunswick, you know. that
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah.
And he's just got like crazy pedal boards, and his head is down, and his hair is in his face, and he's playing guitar, and it's kind of shoegazy, and it's kind of like, but sometimes it gets really loud and like
Really?
loopy.
A lot
Like
of
there's a lot of
movements.
loops. There's
Okay.
a lot of like, yeah. Yeah, you'll have to
I'm
check
intrigued.
it out.
Does he have any
I'll
like
send it to you.
videos online that we could check out?
Videos?
he's
Good
got a lot of
question. I don't know.
recordings.
Yeah.
He wrote a song about me.
Really?
One of them, yeah.
Is it a soft song or a?
It's
is
a
he
soft
like
song. No.
Maria?
There's your theme song right there.
Yeah,
Done.
Yeah. You sound
Put it
like
in
the
the can.
Tasmanian devil.
He does. He did sound like that. That's good.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
no,
then
you got to check him out.
they're playing. He's playing with Dead Yellow, which is a hardcore band from Philly that's really good, and my friends Burial Dance out of North Jersey. They're like really, really good.
They're playing in your store
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
on June 8th.
No, June 8th is Matt Talbot.
August,
The
you
August,
said, right?
the first Saturday in August. I think it's August 5th, if I remember correctly.
Sweet. We should go
You
to
still gonna be
that.
around?
You want to go here now?
No,
Is
wait,
this your
you
first
know what I mean.
and last show?
No. But you still gonna be local?
I'm only going to be an hour away.
Yeah,
Where do you
true,
think
but
I'm going?
I don't know, North Dakota. Yeah, can we go for
yeah,
sure?
that'd be fun.
Hell yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
definitely. I love a good hardcore show. And in a store,
And a
yeah.
cool music
We've
store.
done a few. We've
We
done
could go out
we've
to
done a few
dinner.
of them.
I haven't
Yeah.
been to one of those shows in so long.
I mean, that's what I grew up going to.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we went to that fun show in August up north. Remember, we saw. Actually, I think you know him too.
Voice That's Fire?
Well, Boy Sets Fire and Thursday.
Yeah.
And Hundreds of AU.
Yep. So
Yeah. Friends with JB.
So I think Tom from Hundreds, who I've known for forever,
Mm-hmm.
he is, I think, playing guitar in Burial Dance now, or at least was filling in. And John from Hundreds of AU
Yeah.
was a longtime collaborator of mine, drummer. We've been in a bunch of stuff together.
Yeah, I love John. He's
Yeah.
the nicest.
He
Yeah.
is the
Very
nicest.
talented.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
crazy drummer. Yeah.
And he's
Oh,
definitely
you
the
met
nicest.
him. Remember when we were upstairs before the show and I was
Yes.
like, "Oh, this is John," and he was like, "Oh, I recognize you from the podcast." Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe, did he get starstruck and ask you for his
No. I'm weird about stuff like that. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I went to the NAMM show and this past year. I didn't go last year, but this is the first year going like with my own business.
Oh,
And
it's so cool.
It was fun, and
Were
I
you
was on
freaking?
I was on the flight, and I got like recognized by 3 people. I had no idea who they were, and I'm just like, and so the kid next to me at one point takes his headphones off, and he's like, "Yo, what do you do for a living that everybody on this flight knows who you
You
are?"
should have made something up.
Well, so I go, "Oh, I own Relic Music in Red Bank," and he goes, "Oh," and he just puts his headphones back on, like, I thought you were somebody.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
turns out I'm not, so it's fine.
Oh my god.
You're somebody to us.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Totally.
There you go.
Absolutely.
He's not a creative. He doesn't get it.
Yeah.
He was playing air drums the whole flight, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least he didn't smell.
Yeah, true.
So how was the show?
It was good. I mean, very different than in years past. Last year was the first one back from COVID. Normally, it's, I don't know if you guys have ever been to like a Guitar Center or a big box music store, but it's like being at the biggest, worst one of those where everybody's playing at volume level 15. Nobody's playing together. Just picture every single,
Too many sounds.
any area of the musical instrument industry is there in
Yeah.
displaying, selling everything from sousaphones, right? Drums,
I gotta get
Chris's
me one.
new
guitar,
instrument.
everything. And it's like CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, but for musical instruments. It's
Okay.
crazy.
I want to go to that.
The people watching is pretty excellent on
I
a
know.
Saturday, but it's really, really loud.
We went to a little convention, and the people watching was epic.
Are you talking about when we went to the toy convention
Yeah.
in Philly?
that would be,
Yeah.
that's
it
almost
was-
like a Comic-Con level people watching.
It was like, and we went to Comic-Con too.
Yeah, we
2
sure
years
did.
ago?
Yes.
2 years ago we went.
Which
in
one?
New York.
Oh, New York,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we got dressed up. That was fun.
What'd you guys dress up as?
I was Batgirl from the 60s.
Nice.
Yeah, and Melissa was
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like a punk.
You were fine. You
Yeah,
didn't have to
I was
dress
just-
up.
my-
The word you're looking for is the word you're looking for is chump.
Yeah. Fair.
Another country heard from.
Yeah, no, the toy one,
That was interesting.
my friend Paul is big in that scene. He used to write for this company called Dredge Central.
Okay.
And he just like buys and resells all these
It's
vintage
so
toys
crazy.
and like horror stuff and all that. There is a crazy,
crazy market.
following
Yeah.
for sure. And where were we? We were in this old base, right?
It was a
It
weird
was like an
science
aircraft
thing.
or science place.
Because
and
I
they
got
had-
in that like
Yeah.
fuselage thing.
Yeah,
Where was it? Was it around
it
here?
was near Philly.
Oh.
I don't know if it
I
was
don't
in
remember
Philly.
the name of the
Was it like by
place.
McGuire? Like McGuire Air Force Base? That's out west somewhere. Like by
It was
Burlington?
Zolo-
I could probably
Zolocon,
look-
right?
Zolocon. I could just look it up. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, it was strange.
It was
Really cool.
interesting.
I had a lot of fun.
We got some cool stuff too. Those people are they're different, creative,
Yeah.
and different.
I passed
There's
no
a lot of
judgment
interesting
because-
smells.
Yeah.
I could talk about the stuff that'll put people to sleep all day, every day. So I'm just like, cool. If that's what you like, that's
It
great.
was in Warminster, PA. It's
I
the
have no
largest NASA,
Yeah, Warminster. Yeah.
like some sort of weird NASA building.
Did you guys have to get like special clearance to get in or something?
We did
Background
actually.
checks?
We got special passes
Yeah, that
and
was-
clearance through Paul. That
Yeah,
was really
that was
cool.
the
And the
first
lady
thing
that
we've ever
ran
been
it, Christine
into-
something.
That was the first thing we were ever invited to as a show. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Still have your laminates and stuff?
No, they didn't give us laminates.
I don't
did
know if they were laminated.
No, they
but
gave us
it
the
was like
wristbands.
like
Yeah.
special things. Yeah.
We had a different color wristband.
By the way, the train's not going to come and kill us, is it? I'm just making sure.
I always
we're
joke that
good.
it's like my cousin Vinny when it goes by. And when Brian was on the show, that was the cue for the two of them to like fight each other or do something.
nice. I like that.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
you want to go? I don't know.
We'll arm wrestle.
Or take a hit, take a shot,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. That works too. We'll come up with different
Yeah,
games.
we'll have to come up with something. Or maybe like you have to spin a wheel and it tells you what to do.
I was
That
gonna
should
say
be
dartboard.
fun.
Funny
Yeah,
enough,
dartboard.
I just
anything.
ordered a spin wheel.
Really?
Yes, it's gonna be mounted right here, and there's gonna be punishments, rewards.
Are the categories
I'm
predetermined? Or are you going to have everybody write in to make different suggestions?
Oh,
It'll
that's
be-
a good idea.
I mean, yeah, I'm always up for suggestions, but it's gonna be a dry erase thing, and there's
You
gonna
can
be
write in new ones.
prizes and punishments.
I played mini golf on Sunday, and I've never been to a course where they had wheels at like the holes. So like if you wanted to play like a wacky kind of golf, you would spin
Really?
it, and it would be like shoot it from behind your back, or like switch scores with whoever you like the least,
that's
or like
cool.
all these different things.
Makes it fun.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I wish they had these in more places.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a big rebrand for the world of mini golf.
I love mini golf. We have a tournament every year with my family. It's like
Really?
very serious. And
Whoa.
I've won, I think, 8 years. My name is etched into a trophy and everything.
Come on.
Just saying.
Come on.
Talk about pressure. You could keep that title going.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's tough.
The day you lose that title.
Well, it's a girls' league and a guys' league. So I have the girls locked down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to try to break the gender barrier?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah, I was
see.
just gonna say that was gonna be my next question. But that wasn't the only thing you had a first with. Like that's the first time you ever played.
Yeah.
spinning.
Because we
You
tried
had
to
another
do
first.
a different court. I had another first. Oh, I did have another first. I had my first Big Mac.
Oh, I wasn't ready with the button, Nick, and applause.
I don't know if you should
Fucking
applaud
A.
that.
No.
I'm not really big on fast food, but it was.
That's why I was
the time
really
and
shocked.
place,
Yeah.
And yeah,
Thoughts?
I don't know how it came up, and I was like, I've never had a Big Mac before. I don't know what the sauce is. Like I know the song from the '80s and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. I know what you have to do to construct it, but it was okay. It looked like the picture on commercial, so I
Yeah.
was very.
Now, did you have
pleasantly
that? You had that in Philly? Oh, it was probably so much better.
It was good. I will say that I still like a quarter pounder with cheese better.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Hot
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
McDonald's is
Okay.
actually about to do a spin on their burgers. They're about to change them all up.
What? Why?
Not in a bad way. I think they're gonna like instead of raw onions, they're gonna cook the onions or some
No.
shit. Or
Big
some,
departure
that-
for them.
This is crazy.
yeah, they're gonna
talk.
do something different. I forget.
No, Ray Kroc would not want this.
Hey, what? Ray Kroc can't say anything. Dead man don't speak. Nick, put like whatever McDonald's is gonna do with their burgers, like right
I think
here.
they're adding, raising the percentage of sawdust.
True.
Sawdust.
But they're bringing back the Hamburglar.
Nice.
Oh, I love the hamburger.
Welcome back, Hamburglar.
Can you tell me what Grimace is supposed to be?
Grimace is an alien.
He looks like a chicken nugget that's
I was
purple.
just gonna say he's a.
Yeah.
He's
right?
a-
He looks like a nugget, but he's the
Yes.
wrong color.
I've always wondered that about Grimace.
Yeah.
what is Grimace?
I was trying to figure that
Eggplant
out
emoji.
because they had like
Yeah.
the eggplant. They had the fry guys. They were cute, and there was like the little chickens, right? Which you're like, that's sad because you're gonna be nuggets.
Yeah.
And then
Wait, weren't they nuggets already with mouths and eyes?
were they? Oh yeah, there were ones that would hop in the sauces, like
Yeah.
Right?
Like
They
hot
had
tubs
like,
or something?
especially during the Olympics. I remember the commercials where like the sauce would dive
Yeah.
into the
the nugget would
dive
into the.
sauce.
I do remember that. Yep. And then there was what other? There's Mayor
Mayor
right?
McCheese.
Mayor McCheese and the Hamburglar. Does he try to
Hamburglar.
eat the mayor?
Mayor McCheese is the dude with,
With
the
the
big
cheeseburger head.
right?
But I'm saying the Hamburglar likes.
He likes burgers, but
he doesn't
would,
like cheese.
No, he would just steal. Hamburger just stole everyone's burgers. He didn't try to eat Mayor
So
McCheese.
if you go into a McDonald's dressed as the Hamburglar
Can you
and
just
don't pay
steal?
anything, is that like a secret, like In-N-Out Burger, you ask for an animal style? Is that like a secret code where you can just...
Oh, I think we should do an episode like that. I will dress as the Hamburglar
You
and go
heard.
into
There
McDonald's.
you go.
Yeah, I'm into it. I know somebody who has the Hamburglar costume.
do?
Yeah.
Can we borrow it?
Yes. It's a phone call away.
I'm doing this.
Seriously. Yeah. Oh my
Well,
God.
when I worked at Franken Sound, which was a music studio in North Brunswick, they're not there anymore. We did this like Kickstarter to raise money for the venue we were opening in the back. And when we hit like certain levels, they would make us do things. So like this one kid I worked with, he had to get into a blow up tub and they dumped gallons of banana pudding on him.
That sounds like heaven.
That was kind of gross. And then we had to
Kind of horny.
well, anyway, my thing was my parents have these like life-size seagull costumes. I don't know why.
Shut the
My
fuck
mom
up.
is just like a
I know why.
crazy seamstress. No, it is not that. It was for Halloween.
Yep. That's what they all say.
Well, anyway, they're really funny. They have the beaks and everything. And there's like orange tights
Can
with
we
the
borrow
beak.
them?
I'll bet
Can
you
we
And-
borrow them, please?
Yeah, well, one is very tall, would fit you. This is
Shut
my
up. No
dad's.
way.
And then
Come
I
on.
have my mom's. So I wore it and I had to go into Walmart in North Brunswick and I had to buy as much bread as I could carry.
And you were probably the most normal dressed person, most normal looking person at the
It was
Walmart at
so
that point in time.
Funny. I couldn't, I wasn't talking. I was just like making seagull noises and trying to like ring up my bread.
Can we please?
so good.
Can we please shoot in those soon? Like real
I
soon.
have to find them. Yeah.
Yes. Life is so good.
I'd like to come back for that.
Please, yes, yeah, you're invited.
We could just go right to the boardwalk or something.
Yeah,
Or just go walk around Broadwalk
Yeah,
in the
right?
seagull costumes.
I'll run on the beach.
Well, the biggest toy right now in Point Pleasant, like with all the games, is a seagull that has French fries in its mouth. So I feel like we could just recreate
Really?
that.
Get out of here. They finally came up with that
I know.
toy.
Why did it take so long?
Yeah, that they never had that before, right?
I have no idea.
I've
They
never
have like a
seen
new
this-
one every season, I feel like, and that's like the big toy
Oh,
this
okay.
season for the games.
I've never seen a seagull plushie on the beach ever.
Yeah, well now they're there.
That's because I feel like everybody hates
Yeah.
seagulls
Because
around
they
here.
eat your food. You
Yeah.
have to. So Ocean City, I think I told you this. They have a falcon with like a guy, and he walks around.
Like a falconer with
Yes.
He walks around. He's got the
Sick.
glove
Right?
and the falcon, and
So
the
metal.
falcon just like flies off, and he calls it back, and it lands back on his arm, keeps the seagulls away. One falcon.
Does he like feather his hair back as the falcon lands? I
It's pretty epic. But
feel like if you don't do that, you're really missing an
They-
opportunity.
He puts the
He
puts
makes-
the hood back on it.
Yep.
insane money. I looked it up. It was something ridiculous, like $1,000 a day.
That's crazy.
But the township pays for it because it keeps them away from everyone. And
So there you go, kids. If you're looking to get into coding, get into falconry instead.
Yeah, falconry's where it's at. Exotic birds, exotic murder birds.
murder birds. I
You ever
wish
look
I
a
knew
falcon in
that.
the eye?
No.
I don't think I've ever seen a
Actually,
falcon in person.
Not in real life,
They
just
put
in
these
pictures.
like blinders on it
Yeah,
so
they
it
do.
can't get scared, I guess. I don't
it's
know
that,
what it's for.
Or I think it's more to protect the people around it, the things around it,
Oh.
right? Because
It might attack something.
I don't
feel
know.
like
Falcons have two modes. They have sleeping and they have kill mode. So you just have to put the hat on them and it's like kill mode, pause mode. kill
Yeah.
mode, pause
Maybe
mode.
that's it.
Yeah, I like to keep the pause button on, especially if it's sitting on my arm.
Yeah. It's
Unless
pretty
you're
cool,
a falcon
though.
wizard, then
I definitely
Yeah.
am not.
yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that'd
not
be,
me.
dude.
Well, I have to start thinking about a new job.
Yeah,
And
Maybe
you never
that's
know
it.
until you try.
let's.
Maybe
I
that's
wonder
Does that guy take
how much
apprentices?
is how much. Yeah, I was gonna say how much is falconry school. Let's find this out real quick.
Where do
and
you
quick.
go? Is it some faraway land you have to take a train
guarantee.
to,
I
like
bet you
Harry
there's
Potter?
one in New Jersey.
Rutgers has an amazing falconry program.
Are you joking?
Yes,
Cosign.
Oh.
100%.
I'm so naive.
okay.
I
I'm
really
sorry.
thought it was real. I'm like, really? That's not that far from me. I could totally do this.
Dude,
I was like,
dude.
all in.
There's
How many credits?
the Raptor Trust, nonprofit organization.
Where's that?
Millington, New Jersey.
I don't believe it because I'm trying to take classes. Oh, okay, maybe.
But look, pictures on the internet.
I
Yeah,
was
leave me alone.
That authenticates it
looking
immediately.
at
I don't
doing-
believe
There's,
it. Pictures
there's
on the
Google
internet.
reviews.
Oh,
There's
okay.
Google reviews. It's
I
got 5
mean,
stars.
Just make
point.
sure they're still open because I'm trying to do metalworking. I want to learn how to forge. And I
Ooh.
started like contacting all these places in New Jersey. And they're like, we don't have anyone at the moment. We're looking to hire. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's-
like everywhere. Like I checked like what's that area? Cape May, like Cold Spring? No, that's New York. There's like a little village near Cape May with all these little shops, kind of like Smithville.
Mhm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I forget the name of it, but they used to have like a place where you could take classes. Nope,
Really?
no more. Like so many,
So there's like not even in like way North Jersey.
like Pennsylvania, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
Definitely in Pennsylvania.
yeah, there's a lot,
For
and you can
sure.
join like a annual like a club where they like meet up at different people's houses and stuff,
Cult.
and you can learn
Yeah,
that
that's
way.
what I'm
Cult.
But I
getting.
kind of want to know what I'm doing before, because it wasn't that expensive. But I
Mhm.
don't want to just like show up like, hey, I don't know.
I mean,
If it's your first night at Smelt,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to smell.
you have to hammer.
Yeah.
do you wear armor to those things? Like I would totally wear like
Like
at
a
least.
No, you wear it
Renaissance fair?
home. You
Yeah.
have to wear it home though.
Yeah, I would wear like chainmail to go to that school. Like I would like
Not
fully
like a
like
school.
you know
like
what I mean.
a apprenticeship.
I would
if you were,
go.
like, a
I would
tattoo
go
artist.
full medieval, and
Yeah, I would do that.
I would embrace the.
I mean,
the
I
part.
love like Renaissance fairs and stuff.
Yeah.
I've never been to one.
Me neither. I've always wanted to. I
The-
heard they're wild.
What? Well, we're going this summer, so you guys should totally come.
I've been to one.
Got to get dressed up though.
Took some pictures. It was cool.
And oh my gosh, what's your favorite part?
Jousting. It's.
Jousting is fun, and then like I like where you can do the archery. You
I
can
didn't do
I
the
wanna
archery,
shoot a
but
bow
that
and
does sound
arrow.
like a lot of fun.
Yeah, and they have like the giant turkey legs that are
Yeah.
so good.
This sounds a lot like just medieval times, honestly.
Yeah.
It's
medieval
better.
times outside.
It's on crack.
I've never actually been to medieval times either.
Dude, medieval times actually, dude.
It's so much
I
fun.
know. I
Even
never
though
been
it's a
to that
shitty
occasion.
little piece of chicken and a shitty cup of tomato soup out of a can.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
the
worth
experience.
Show some
it.
respect.
I know,
just-
for
it just
real.
hit- it
You
just
shut
hits
your
different.
mouth.
But
That's
I
what
like it.
I wanted
I
to
enjoy-
do for
I
my
enjoy
bachelorette
it.
party, and I could not get the other girls on board
That's
when I was
bullshit.
getting married. Yeah,
That's
I was like,
bullshit.
come on.
That's bullshit.
that was my 30th birthday party.
Yes.
That was my 30th birthday party.
Nice.
Holy shit!
I mean,
that's
I've been there
so
a bunch
wild.
of times, but that was. I
I've been
think,
there
the last
3
time I went.
times. That was my 30th. The last time I went, I almost got kicked out because I got
What?
I got way hammered during the pregame.
Did you try to fight a night?
No, I ended up in the back where the stables are.
He's like
and,
riding
like,
a horse.
The other no, I was petting a horse, and like this dude was like on his break, like a knight was on his break, getting ready to like do a show after. He's like, "Can I help
can't
you?"
be back here.
Yeah, he's like, "You new here?" Like, and I'm like,
You should have
"No,
said
I'm
yes.
lost."
Did you have long hair at that point or no? It was short. Because you could have fit right in.
No, I didn't have. I was short hair. Yeah, I had short hair at that time.
Yeah.
If you had been coming from Smelt Club, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Chainmail.
If I had my chainmail on, I would have been good. But yeah, I
Yeah.
got it. There's like, it's so easy to get anywhere in that building. Like, I really did get like in the way back. Like, I
It's
had to walk
like-
down a weird hallway.
So cheesy, but I love it.
Yeah, it's fucking
The
awesome.
Renaissance Fair, the one in Tuxedo, New York, is a lot of fun. I like that one. It's smaller,
That's
but
what
it's
I
like
so
feels
far
like you're in like fairy woods.
That's
it's like
in
the border.
Rockland County or Orange County. I forget where Tuxedo is.
I don't know. It's right. It's the border of like New York and New
Oh, yeah,
Jersey.
it's right over, like,
right
past
there.
Mahwah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That one's
Oh,
fun.
okay.
But the Pennsylvania one's like so much bigger and
Really?
so cool. Yeah, you have to go this year.
What else is there? What other? Is there another, like, not a Renaissance fair, but there's something really big that happens in Pennsylvania, like that's big?
I
Eagles
mean, they have a
games?
lot of things.
Well, yeah, that too. But I feel like there's like another kind of fair.
Well, I want to go to one. It's probably not what you're thinking of. It's like the Folk Art Festival. That's in July
Really?
because there's a lot of that stuff out
Maybe
there.
I'm
like
just thinking of like
Pennsylvania Dutch.
fairs in general. Like when I was a kid on Long Island, we went to the Fireman's Fair.
Yeah,
And that was like, I feel
they
like
do that around
each
here.
town like had a different one.
Yeah.
Each, like,
I always went to
every
the
week.
Keyport one. They
okay.
have that every year.
I miss those things.
I love fairs.
Yeah.
Right? Monmouth County one's pretty good.
Is it?
It's big.
When is that?
July, I think.
I think that
it's
sounds
in-
about right.
It's in July. They have a lot of stuff. I watched the pig races. They're so cute.
That's sick.
They're so cute. They come up from Florida and they're named like Brittany Spare Ribs, Taylor Not So Swiftly, like things like that. It's stinking cute.
Spare ribs.
And they
Poor
swim.
pig.
They jump into the
Come
water.
on, shut up.
Yeah.
Next time I go to the Bahamas, I want to swim with the pigs.
Yeah, you should do We
For
got
sure.
way off track.
Yeah, we did. Welcome to the
I'll blame myself for that.
So sorry.
Sort of. It's okay.
Yeah, I have crippling ADD.
So how big is your shop? Like how many people work
Oh.
for you?
So right now we have, including myself, we have myself and like three other people. My one guy just went out on paternity leave,
Oh,
so I have a couple people filling in for him. A couple good friends, my buddy Rocky for the next couple weeks, and then girl Danielle, who's been to our shop. Her and her boyfriend Tim. I love them. Every Friday their date night is they come to my shop.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like
how
awesome.
Cute.
They're both super into gear.
Yeah.
You know, they have a great time and they're great people. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yep. And then I have Matt, my full-time person, who is, phenomenal. So I'm very lucky. He's just as nerdy and knowledgeable as I am.
I was gonna say, do they all like run the full gambit of the floor, or like do they specialize
No,
in things?
The funny thing is I get I say to everybody, like, everybody in the world right now is hiring except for us, because we get so many resumes, and it's really flattering that people would want to work there in general. But, I typically I look for people that just, have a passion and a love for this stuff.
Right.
That can't not talk about it. And that's, that to me is like better than anything else.
Yeah.
So Matt is definitely one of those people. Danielle is definitely one of those people. My guy Chris is definitely one of those people. And so is Rocky. So, and our tech Mark is phenomenal. He does an amazing job. He's been at it, over 20 years on the road and having his own place. And he splits his time between us and a place called Guitar and Jazz up in Summit. He's really, really good. Yeah.
That's really cool. So like every day at work, it's kind of like you're just hanging out with your friends.
Sort of, except with a lot more paperwork and a lot more noise.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, people are like, you must get to play guitar all the time. And I'm like, well, if you by that you mean open a box, inspect it, tune it,
Yeah.
make sure it's set up, and then hang it on the wall and make a sign for it. Yeah, all the time. But I don't get to play nearly as much with the business, but it's okay. Like now that we've been up and running for 18, 20 months, whatever it's been, I'm finding myself to have a little bit more free time to do that stuff, which is good because it's what got me here in the first place.
Yeah, you don't want to be working so much that you lose.
The really crazy thing is I don't mind. It's just it's so different when it's yours
And
it's,
you care about it.
it's
Yeah.
and it's all you think about, and but it's awesome. And I'm having I'm always a big quality of life person. So it's, I try to give myself at least 1.5 days off, every week.
Totally.
But I'm always looking at my emails and my phone and the DMs and everything. It doesn't stop. With cell phones and email, it's like you're open 24/7 anyway, especially because
Yeah, you can't turn
we
off.
have a full e-commerce platform and we sell stuff online, and
Oh,
it's,
wow.
yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But
But
when you care about it, I get that.
Yeah.
I'd rather work constantly if it's something I like than a 40-hour.
Yeah, because
week
it's
one
not
that you
work.
hate.
If you love it,
Yeah.
Right, there's two cliches that people say about work. One of them is it's a 4-letter word, which makes sense. I've had experiences in my life where that was definitely the case. And then if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
I feel like there's no in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either one or the other.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely the 4-letter word at this point right now, unfortunately.
You and everybody else.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a shame. That's how, just how it is.
Yeah, it's tough. I work in the nightclub industry, and it just
Well, that's tiring after a while, too.
Yeah.
How do you get on a regular sleep schedule?
Well, luckily I work during the day,
Beautiful.
so I'm usually in the bar at 7 a.m. and I'll leave anywhere between 1, 2, 3, or 4. So depending on what happened the night before or what events are going on
Got
that
it.
particular day.
Yeah, they turn the place across the street from me into a club every Sunday. It's wild.
Really?
Yeah, they have they call it Sunday brunch.
Mm-hmm.
And
What
they
place is that?
have C'est La Vie, the
Oh,
crate
really?
place. Yeah, they have a guy with an earpiece, a DJ, velvet
What?
ropes. It's wild. It's a scene over there.
That is so weird.
That's
I don't know
cool.
why. I was not expecting that.
Well, it's funny because they'll do character dining on Wednesday evening with Paw Patrol or
Aw.
Minnie Mouse or something, and then Sunday it's just super ultra club.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen,
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
That's rad.
That works.
That's
My street's crazy. We have so many cool businesses on my street, and it's just
Seriously.
a whole weird little eclectic group of people, and it's we all look out for each other. It's a lot of fun.
There's so many great businesses around there.
Yeah, I
What's
agree.
the name of that record store? It's got a really
Jack's?
big front to it.
Jack's.
Dax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that place.
Yeah.
They always have like all old like oddball CDs that I used to have when I was a kid.
I like to go upstairs. I don't know if they still do it, but they used to have sheet music. Like
Oh, really?
upstairs,
Yeah.
which I do.
Every once in a while, people ask me for that, and I'm just like, the internet.
Yeah, you
you
don't
literally
like
just
need
get
that
it.
anymore. But I'm a weirdo. Like I like
You
a
wanna
physical.
hold- yeah.
I'm
like-
with you about like records.
Yeah.
I don't ever download music. I just
Yeah.
buy it.
Mhm.
I need a record or a CD or
Mhm.
something.
Yeah, see,
something.
Same.
I download.
I do
Um,
both. Like I'll collect the record of like what
Mhm.
I really like, but then I use Apple Music. So yeah, I get it. You guys do custom builds, right?
We do.
Do you do them in house or is that like?
I wish I could take all the credit for that. No, the brands that we work with, like Built, Frank Brothers, Dunnable, Nash, Castadosa, Walsh, they have a bunch of different models available. They're all fantastic builders, and we basically spec everything out. So like I think about what I would like because I'm an addict with this stuff, and then I just build something that I think is awesome, and then invariably it's like cooking. I don't know if either of you cook, but it's like
Yeah.
spending all day cooking like this super elaborate meal, and then somebody eats it in like 5 seconds. You painstakingly go over every
Yes.
detail
To make sure it's
Yeah,
perfect.
fret size, inlays, what kind of fingerboard wood, what's the radius, what kind of pickups am I going to put in it. You painstakingly go through that. You go over the specs back and forth
Yeah.
with whomever, and then, a year later when it shows up, it's in and out in like 5 minutes.
And they play and they're like, sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes
Well,
it
hopefully-
even goes before anybody touches it. It's wild because most of what we do in that regard are like one-offs. Like
Yeah,
the stuff
that's
that
what
I
I was
spec out.
thinking.
It's like the only thing like that that's ever been made.
Do people come to you and they like tell you what kind of stuff they're into, like
sure.
what they play, and they're like, "Can you help me build something?"
Honestly, usually what happens when people come in, it's one of two reactions. It's either I've never heard of any of this, or it's holy shit, I can't believe you guys carry this.
Yeah.
Those are the two reactions. The nice people have so many nice things to say about the store, about how it looks and how beautiful it is, and the job we did, which is like super flattering, because if I even had like a little hole in the wall somewhere and I was able to feed myself by ordering guitars for people and selling guitars and pedals, I'd be happy. But we have, and I tend to be more of a humble guy, but it really came out really nice.
It's beautiful. It looks like an art gallery
Thank
to
you.
me.
Yeah, that
It
I
really
can't-
is.
I gotta get down there. I'm definitely gonna come visit.
You guys are welcome to do a live pod from there anytime you want.
That'd be
Open-
sick.
open
Wow,
invitation.
that's awesome. Thank you.
Open invite. Of
Thank
course,
you.
the seagull costumes have to be there.
We'll do it in the
That's
seagull
the-
costume.
That's
Deal.
the caveat.
I'll wear the seagull costume every day.
All day.
I'm into it. I'm into
You guys
it.
should do like a Businesses of Monmouth Street podcast from the store.
That would be fun.
There's some characters on there.
Yeah.
You get Johnny Porkroll talking. He won't.
Oh
he'll keep it
yeah,
going.
I hear they're very good. I've never had it.
He makes a hell of
Delicious?
a sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two,
Yeah.
two,
I've heard.
Yeah.
two.
No?
No pork roll for me. I'm not from New Jersey, so
Oh my God, Chris.
Have you tried it?
yeah,
Okay.
I didn't like it.
At least you tried it.
I did. I tried it. I tried it a couple times, and it's just I don't know. I don't like hot dogs. I don't like bologna, so it kind of like was in that family for me at least.
Yeah. I get what you're
Adopted family at
saying.
best, in that it comes from who knows what and
Yeah.
who knows
Yeah,
where.
yeah,
that's,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
The same thing with like I know this is probably going to trigger people because it's not the same.
Just
All right,
say.
just so we're clear, he's saying this, not me. Just
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Scrapple, disgusting. I don't know how
I've
people
never
eat
had
it.
it.
You know what? I like it. I
Really?
like all that weird stuff
Okay.
though. Like, and I like to like mix my stuff. Like, I'll get like eggs over easy and hash browns and Scrapple and just like make a mess and put
Okay.
like hot sauce on it.
Fair,
Mm-hmm.
fair.
Yeah.
All right. See again. I
It's
steal
okay.
this
You don't
off
have to
skew.
like what. It's fine.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
No,
I've
but
always just
with,
liked bacon.
with the custom stuff, we have people come from all over. Like we had somebody literally drive up from like 3 or 4 states out.
Wow.
And we, the thing that I tell a lot of these vendors that we do business with is because we take trades and because, we have been doing this, I've been doing this for such a long time personally. It's like, there's nothing better for me than like working with somebody to build something that they are thinking about and pulling the idea out and then like seeing their expression
Yeah.
when they actually get it, And it's not like just going to a big box store and picking up something off the wall and buying one of like, 10,000 of
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
things, I really think that, the boutique and you know, smaller builder guitar world is was really kind of opened up by the boutique pedal world, because, you know, and again, I'm getting way too nerdy here, and
No.
people
No,
are probably going to turn
keep
off at
it.
this point, so
No,
I
please
apologize.
continue.
But in the old days, like, there was very few smaller builders. Like, you had, you know, Love Pedal and Love Tone, excuse me. You had Zvex. You know, you had a handful of smaller builders, mostly the big boys, Boss Electro-Harmonics, MXR, you know. And then, you know, you have all these other builders that have come up, Caroline and Chase Bliss and Old Blood Noise and, you know, Malaise Forever and Electronic Audio Experiments. I can go on and on forever, but it's a lot easier to take a chance on something when it's $200 than it is when it's $5,000 or $6,000.
Right.
But when you have success doing that, all of a sudden you start to think, you know what? Like, I bought this without hearing it and just watching a video on it. I've never heard of the company before. This might work out too. I mean, it's not scientifically proven, but I feel like personally it kind of opened the door a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, people are really, I think, now kind of starting to get that they have options, and they don't have to buy something that every single music store has.
Right.
They can get something special for themselves. They can get something where the people that made it actually give a shit about making it.
They're not
And
just mass producing.
No, they're not sitting in a boardroom somewhere saying, who could we give this guitar to for free to market it so that, you know, we can sell a bunch of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're, you know, in a lot of cases, really small companies, family companies, you know, maybe 5 to 10 employees tops, and they are doing incredible work. It's to get to work with them and to, you know, help spread the word about what they're doing. You know, it's when we first opened, and even still to this day, it happens. People bring in a bunch of their, you know, their Fenders and their Gibsons and all that stuff, and that stuff's great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They bring all that in for trade, and then they end up taking, like, they buy a Frank Brothers, or they buy a Built, or they buy a Dunnable, a Nash, a Castadosa, and then the people that come in that are looking for that other stuff, we end up having that too by default, so it all works out.
So
oh,
I'm
so
so
you do
ignorant.
trades.
I've never heard of any of the brands that you've said. Like, I've heard of Ibanez and Fender, and
Well, yeah, the big
Yeah,
box ones.
and that's
Yeah.
fine. And we, like
Yeah.
I said, we get a lot of that stuff in trade. We do a lot of stuff on consignment, you know, for people. You know, and the beauty of ordering your custom guitar is you don't have to show up with $5,000 in your pocket, because it takes such a while to do.
To build
Yeah.
it.
You
Yeah.
put a deposit, you can
Yep,
chip away at it
payments.
here and there,
Mhm.
and then by the time it shows up, you know, most of the time, if you're into this stuff remotely, you'll end up spending, you know, $5,000 or $6,000 in a year on something, on like you know, 8 things.
yeah,
Instead of we've had a lot of people that have been like, you know what, I don't need these, you know, 10 okay guitars.
I want one
one or
really good
two
one.
superb or
Yes.
excellent ones. Yeah, that's exactly what
it's-
happens.
It's kind of fun because it's like they get to specialize what they're getting, and the wait, like that anticipation,
Yeah, hell yeah.
like, oh, it's coming soon.
Yeah, I am the most
It's-
impatient person
Yeah.
on the planet. But and the biggest challenge I had with that was, you know, I knew supply chain was an issue when I had first started, but I had no idea what an issue it was.
Yeah.
And
Really?
thank goodness for all my regulars that have worked with me for such a long time, because they brought in a bunch of stuff for consignment to order those special things. So I at least started with some kind of level of inventory in the store. I'm still getting stuff. Like, I got a bass yesterday in that I ordered in June of 2021.
get the fuck
Was
out
that
of
the
here.
one that you posted with the strings?
No, those are
those are
yeah,
really-
those are mine.
I was like, what is
yeah,
that?
Yeah, so those I spec'd out from Built and from Dunnable there, and I ended up, like, you know, you volunteer at a shelter, you're going to take
Yeah.
home a few strays.
That's why
just how
I
it
can't
goes.
work at a shelter. I take
Yeah.
all the cats.
That's just how it goes, you
Yeah.
know. And for me, it's like, and I have to have these things so I can tell people from my own personal experience how
yeah,
great they
you
are.
have
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
You know, so it works out. But it's yeah, it's wild, and for people to, like, have the wait, and then it shows up. Like, I have a guy coming Sunday for an appointment to pick up. He came all the way up from Virginia
Wow.
to order this guitar and brought in a bunch of stuff for trading
That's so
consignment
cool.
to put the store credit towards it. And you know, we sold a bunch of his stuff in the meantime, and it got here this past week and he's driving up on Sunday to pick it up. So stuff like that is like
Yeah.
why you know. Again, you never work a day in your life if you're absolutely loving it. You know?
So cool. I'm
You're
so
like
jealous.
making everyone's
Yeah.
day too. Like no one's leaving your store upset. That's like a super happy
I've only had
experience.
one person leave the store upset. You want to hear this story?
I would
Yeah.
love to.
So, for the most part, I would say 99, and this is the God's honest assessment of our customer base.
Mm-hmm.
We have the best customers, hands down. And I'm not just saying this because I'm on a podcast. They're amazing. They're so supportive. They love what we're doing. They're incredible. You know, we had a father and son come in once. The kid must have been no older than 5 years old. And I'm a big kid person. I love kids, like whatever. Like I don't, some people get freaked out around kids and instruments. That's not me. Like, whatever, stuff happens. But also you trust that the parents they're not going to rely on you to parent the kid
Right.
and
Yeah,
have some kind of etiquette.
Especially in a specialty shop.
So the first time they came in, the kid wanted to play some guitars. Of course we let him, even though I know the dad's definitely not buying this kid this guitar. We let him. The kid scratched the shit out of it with a pick. He didn't do it on purpose.
Okay,
He wasn't disrespectful, but he's a small kid.
He
He doesn't have
doesn't
control
know.
of his hands
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
So he scratched up the pick guard and stuff. I ended up having to discount it to somebody to sell it, and that was fine. It happens, right? It's part of the business. If you go into any one of those big box stores where nobody knows anything and nobody cares, all of those guitars are screwed up.
Yeah.
So it's just part of the collateral damage, right? And if you make somebody's day, it's fine. You have a nice father-son bonding moment, whatever. So months later, they came back, and the kid's asking to play like all this expensive stuff. Like, can I play that one? Can I play that one? And it's just like, well, like he was asking about consignment stuff, and it's like, bud, like we don't technically own that. Like, it wouldn't be right to our customer who owns the guitar for us to
Right.
put it in the hands of anybody that doesn't have a genuine interest in purchasing it.
Right.
Because that's the truth,
Yeah.
right? Like if you inherit, a vintage guitar from your family, and you're like, can you sell this for me? How would you feel if I'm putting it in the hands of every
Yeah.
knucklehead that
No
wants
way.
to touch it
I
just
get
to
it,
say
yeah.
they
Yeah,
played
no
it?
way.
So you got to be very careful with that because you can offend a lot of people.
And that's respectful.
Yeah, of course. And you put it to them like that instead of just like, no, you can't touch that. And there's a right way and a wrong way to go about doing it, right? So, we eventually give the kid another guitar to play that's less expensive. And I tell the dad, can you just, watch his picking hand? Last time, he had some pick guard scratches. I ended up having to sell the guitar at a discount. And the dad freaked out. He was like, what? He wouldn't do that. I was like, no, I'm not saying he did it on purpose, but I'm saying he was playing very hard and maybe he's not seeing what he's doing and he's a small kid. And
Yeah.
he's like, fine, we're leaving. And he left in a huff. And I'm just like, and I still think about that because every other customer experience we've had
It's great.
has been
Oh.
amazing. And this guy, because I asked him nicely to just make sure his kid, first of all, you can't go into a car dealership and just drive a car for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
They don't let you do that. So we love to educate and we love to encourage. We let people play, whatever. Consignment pieces are different because again, we're not, we don't.
Not yours.
It's not ours.
Yeah.
Somebody is trusting us
Right.
to sell it for them. So and if I can, obviously you want as many kids to play stuff as possible because you're creating future customers, right? And you're getting people into it.
And the dad might purchase something from you because
Not in
you
this
see,
case.
Yeah, but you know
usually.
what I mean. Yeah.
No, usually. And that's the thing. Like it was an isolated incident. And that's the thing. I've had, countless positive interactions. People, emailing me the most incredible things afterwards. Like you've made my day. You've made my life. Like we donated 2 guitars to this foundation recently. This poor mom lost her son to a drunk driver like 2 days after he graduated audio engineering school.
Oh my gosh.
So she has this foundation in his name that she does fundraisers for every year. I donated 2 guitars for the fundraiser because the cause really rang with me, obviously. Right. So all those positive interactions that I've had, and I still think about the one thing that's
it's hard. It's always that like negative one that will stick with you.
Yeah.
Because part of me still feels bad that I just didn't let him just shred,
No, but
beat
you
the shit out of
weren't.
the guitar and eat it.
No
But
way.
like,
You
you
weren't
got to
wrong in
also
that.
think of it like the world we live in today. It's sad, but there's always going to be that one. You can't make
Yeah.
everybody happy no matter what.
You're right.
You can hand out $1,000 to everybody in the world. Somebody will be pissed about it.
They didn't get 1,100.
Yeah.
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 You're right.
Sucks.
And with the internet, people can hide and do whatever.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Nobody has
He
to face
was
anybody.
probably like embarrassed or something, you
Yeah,
know, and just
probably.
like took it out the wrong way.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
handle it like a champion.
And I always try to be, completely honest and soft with stuff like that because it's it's a challenge.
Yeah, it's delicate.
You know.
No, you handled that right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Now, so you're a specialty shop. You curate all the pieces that you get. Is there anything that's in your store that's like a super rare? I know you do like the customs you do are one-offs, but is there like that
Your baby,
that golden
that you're
goose like
We've had a lot of that. I mean, the thing we do get vintage stuff. The thing about the people ask us all the time, we get it and it never sees the light of day. I have like 5 customers. Something comes in, I just go down the list. I call this guy first, that person,
Gotcha.
and before it gets to number 5, it's gone. That's typically what happens. If it's anything like worth anything, we've had like one owner pre-CBS Strats that were like $65,000, $70,000. We've had, you know, a really rare, you know, Rickenbacker double neck that came in.
I like those.
You know, we've gotten a lot of really crazy stuff, and you never know what's gonna walk in. It is so crazy stuff, and I've been in this business off and on a long time, and even when I wasn't in the business, I'm obsessed with it. Stuff I've never seen before. Like you know what we get a lot of, which is really crazy? Women whose husbands have passed that have left them these collections. Yeah. So and you know they're trusting.
Know.
They don't know.
Yeah, they don't.
And I'm like,
care,
thank
probably.
God you've came here.
Yeah.
Because I've been in other
People
shops.
would have ripped them off completely.
100%. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
So you know, for me, and I always say, listen. And I'm transparent. I say I can write you a check. This guitar will sell for this on the open market. I need to make a couple bucks, you know. So this is what I can give you for it. But most of the time, you walk into a place and they're going to offer you 30 to 40% of what the market value is, which to me is like, it's not how I want to do business.
Yeah.
It's not how I want to.
It's sleazy.
It's a lot of work to sell stuff. Honestly, you got to take pictures to do it the right way. And people ask questions they never asked before because they think they know things, right?
Yeah.
Like 15 years ago, nobody knew or cared what a fingerboard radius is. Now it's all anybody wants to talk about because of the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the radius on that? You know,
So you have to research all of this and know what you're talking about.
The thing is, everybody's at home and watching YouTube
Yeah.
videos, and it's great. The people more educated they are, I think it's better, and the information's out there for everybody to read. But yeah, so those situations come up, and I will try my best to. So one woman had a really, really rare Travis Bean TB500 guitar. They made like 350 some odd of them total, but it was so modded and destroyed. And it's like this guitar would have been like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, maybe even $8,000 if it was like perfect. But as it was, I was only able to get her like $1,500 for it, and that was high. One of the pickups was missing. There was holes drilled in it. It was like complete. And if it was anything else, I would have said, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know where the nearest dumpster is, but
Yeah.
because it was that guitar, we were able to find a home for it, and somebody grabbed it, which is, you know, and stuff like that I love. I've also been asked to, I've been hired professionally by attorneys to appraise collections in divorce proceedings.
Whoa.
Wow.
I never even thought about things like that, but it makes sense.
Appraisals are a big part of the business now that, you know, I take very seriously. That I haven't told people I do because it's a lot of work to do it. But if you have a collection that's worth anything and you don't have every piece insured, God forbid something happens to you, you know, or whatever, you know, a Hurricane Sandy shows up and wipes stuff out. If that stuff's not itemized and on file with your insurance company, or God forbid you get hit by a car or you have a heart attack and, you know, there's all this stuff and your kids don't know what to do with it. You know, it's really having that information is
Absolutely. I
super
had
important.
like insurance on my guitars when I was in my apartment because I was like right on the water there. And then my stepdad's got like 40 guitars in their house in brick, and he's got all of that like
You have to.
itemized and stuff.
You have to. And even if they're not like, you know, golden gooses, whatever. If you have 40 guitars, you spend some money regardless of how much they cost.
Yeah. My
You know?
mom's like on him to sell it.
I know a place that can help them out, obviously. But I have customers with, you know, 10 guitars. I have customers with 300 guitars.
Wow.
You know, just it's you know, we're all, you know,
Are these people like collectors or are they musicians too?
It's a mix. I think most of our business deals in hobbyists. We do have a lot of like professional customers that, you know, are touring musicians for a living, are in bands for a living. that, tour and play and record for a living. But in the case of most of those people, a lot of times they get stuff, from companies. They get endorsements, they get stuff at cost, or, I mentioned before about these bigger box companies just giving people stuff to kind of push. And it's an interesting and, effective way of going about marketing. But most of my customers and most of the customers in the industry are, people that have a little bit of money in their pocket.
Totally.
That ended up doing something else aside from becoming a rock star. So they ended up.
They're like living through
Yeah.
this kind of.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it.
And then
I get it.
and then I have customers that have real jobs that play in cover bands on the weekends just for fun. It takes all kinds. I have customers that are just noise musicians. Everything is different
whole
every day. Is different.
spectrum.
The whole spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have a lot of customers that yesterday somebody came in asking for like DJ turntables, which we don't have any of because I don't know anything about them. But stuff like that. You never know what's going to happen in there on a day-to-day basis. It's entertaining.
That's fun,
and
though.
Oh, it's very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And I'm sure it's challenging for you too.
It is.
So.
It is because there's so many facets of the business that people don't think about. Like I mentioned.
What do you mean, you
people?
people?
I mean people in general. Sorry, I'm not. That wasn't.
Dave out of
That was
nowhere.
not a disparaging
In
remark
the
against
dark
producers.
room.
I
That's the
promise.
voice out of the
Promise.
dark.
I
Yeah.
know in the darkness.
That threw me off. I was like, huh? Oh.
Dave, I'll be making a donation to the producer awareness fund in your name. I apologize. I'm sorry.
I accept your apology.
I'm sorry for using that language. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Probably wasn't important.
Just the challenges of it.
Oh yeah, just like I mentioned about running out of that specific string SKU when somebody asked me for every pack. Stuff like you don't really anticipate, But it's been full of obviously, learning things and challenges but the feedback that we've gotten has been amazing, and aside from that one person, people have
I'd say that's really good
Yeah,
percentage.
yeah.
so far.
definitely
I wish my
wanna
phone's
go.
going to go up with
Yeah.
a bunch of bad Google reviews.
Oh, no.
Like we just met an hour and a half ago, and you're a man that's passionate about your craft. You seem like the nicest human I've ever come
thanks.
across. Like seriously, genuinely,
Thanks.
super helpful. Like
It's not always good for me, by the way. Just FYI, being the nicest human.
yeah, well, it comes with
Yeah.
Comes with the territory.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's the only way I know how to be. What can I say?
Yeah.
But that's just amazing. The amazing story.
It's crazy because I still go through and have this like imposter syndrome, right? Where I'm like, is this really like, did I really
Yeah,
do
is
this?
this real?
Did we do this? Or this isn't real. Like this doesn't really mine, but we've done, it's been awesome. I do like pedal board builds for people all the time. And that's really fun. I do a lot of that for bands that are like, that play a lot and tour and stuff like that. And it's full service. It's just like
Now
I
the
said,
pedal boards you build, is it those giant with like 10 different boards on them?
10 different pedals, 12 different pedals, in some cases 30 or 40 different pedals.
That's
What? 30 or
fucking
40?
nuts, dude.
Yeah, no, it's
Wow.
and you wire them. You got to get the order right. You ask the customer like, do you need any specific switching systems and running the cable and making sure it's powered correctly and making sure that they have access to the stuff they need access to up front.
Yeah,
more
exactly.
often.
Placement.
There's so much that goes into it, and we're like the only shop that does it. And I've been doing it for people just as a friend since long before I opened.
Now are
the
you doing
store.
like custom shit with like lights and stuff, or are you just doing the board?
People
like
that
the
ask me,
pedals?
people that ask me for stuff like that, I will do that.
Put a
But I
little
think
flair on
most people are too embarrassed to say, "Can you put lights on it?" I
Fuck
have.
that.
Well, I have done stuff where they have those what do they call them? Those desktop lights or whatever, the
Yeah.
clip-ons. I do that for people so that they could see what's
Yeah,
happening.
of course.
Or even
when
just like
there's
an
that
LED
many.
strip.
Yeah.
That would look
Yeah.
so sweet.
Yeah, it's funny because one of the first pedal boards I ever built for myself when I was like in my early 20s, I did that.
Fuck
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, there
And
was
it just brings a certain like just a different feel, a different look. It's like, dude, look, this guy
Yeah.
knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
look at his shit.
I used to collect, old vintage Electro-Harmonix pedals, and there was this one thing that they made that was super rare called the Domino Theory. Now they build it as a portable light show for whatever. So it was a whole bunch of lights that blinked or moved to the sound. It was reactive. I was like, this is perfect for my pedal board. So I I was like looking for one for months and months. One popped up on eBay. This is way before Reverb. I don't even want to tell you. I forget how much I spent on it. So I'm like, super hyped for when it shows up. And all of a sudden I go to get the mail and there's like a small manila envelope from the person on eBay. I open it up. It's the size of a friggin' cigar. It was, my chops have been busted about it ever since.
Oh.
Yeah. Perfect. Yes. Thank you.
That's so
Yeah.
upsetting.
Yeah. So that was fun. The domino theory. I'd avoid that for anybody out there listening. Yeah, but for the most part, like pedal wise, I've probably owned, not probably, I know I've owned over like 400 pedals in my life.
Wow.
And
that's a lot.
yeah, it's just like I said, they're like, pedals will $200 you to death.
Mm-hmm.
A little here, a little there, and before you know it,
Well,
it's a
you
party.
had some pedals like a while back where you had artists paint them, right?
Yeah, so
'Cause I
That's
remember
fun.
seeing those, and I was
Yep.
like, "That's really cool."
Yeah.
I do a lot of custom colorways and exclusives to the store using some of our colors that we like. I've had like tattoo artists paint pedals. I've had other visual artists paint pedals. My buddy Justin did a couple pedals for us where he's got this really cool mixed media technique where he takes these old books from the Gallimard Publishing House and he integrates them in with
What?
epoxy and all this other stuff. I should have brought you guys
That's
stuff
so
to like look
cool.
at. Yeah. Let me see if I have a picture of one I can show you.
Yeah.
Hang on. Now, I'm sorry.
I'm all
Now
about that.
that's fine. We just have an excuse to have you back now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Gotta see some
So
of
it's
it,
kinda
right? We'll
hard
go
to-
in.
On location show.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
location
This is
for
something
sure.
that I would love to
I-
go in this store.
Yeah.
It is so beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Let
need
me
to
see
go.
if I have
I'm
some.
gonna have to- let's take a field trip for
I
sure.
have
I told you guys, seagull costumes, and then you're in. So if you look here, this is some of the process of him doing it.
What?
Sorry, we're going silent now. He sent me these are like progress pics.
That is so
And I hope to
neat.
God at the end of this, there's not an embarrassing picture.
If
That
you don't
is
mind,
really cool.
if you don't mind, if you can send a couple of those pictures to Maria, we'll get
Yep.
them. We'll get them.
That's neat.
We'll get them in the show.
I will for sure. And this is the finished product. Nope, that's not that. This is.
That's cool looking.
Wow, that's awesome.
love that.
Yeah.
So
And
different too.
Yeah, and we do stuff like that all the time. I'm lucky to work with, to work with all these. I've been friendly with a lot of these builders for so long because I was some of their early customers. Because I've been into this for forever, and it's obviously helped me, maintain relationships
And
and
because
genuine
you're
friendships. Well, thank you.
See?
Yeah, seriously, like,
Catch more flies with honey.
yeah. Because you are the way you are, you made my nerves like subside immediately as soon as we started talking.
Well, I'm still going to be watching your subscriberships, and I'm going to feel really awful about myself if they don't
No,
go up.
stop.
How many friends do I have that I can text? Please subscribe to.
But no, seriously, I really, really, really appreciate you taking the time to come and
Anytime.
hang out
Thank you.
with us
I'm
and
humbled
telling
that
us
you'd
your
even
stories.
think enough of me to ask.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna talk about pot.
absolutely. Oh wait, before you leave, I need to know your story.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I
I heard.
don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do anything. But
Okay.
I grew up in Jackson, and there's nothing to do there, obviously.
Yes.
So I had a couple. Again, I did have occasion where I partook every once in a while. The last time I ever did, I must have been like a sophomore in high school, or maybe a junior. I don't remember. I think a sophomore. I met my friend in the woods, as you do.
Yeah,
Of
that
course.
sounds right.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I mean, it had to be actual weed because of what happened afterwards. But, it's not like it is now where it's like super sciencey
Right.
and like specific for
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
We smoked a little weed, and then I went back to my house and I took a nap at 4:30, and I woke up at 6:30 the next morning looking for dinner with my mom yelling at me, I'm going to be late for the bus for school. It was the worst.
You were like out.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done. So not only did I not get dinner, I'm like going through the school day completely like, what happened?
What happened?
I slept 14 plus hours. I never really got high. I always just
just got
wanted
sleepy.
to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
But I am
can
happy
relate.
that I am happy that they it's legal in New Jersey. I think it's a long time coming, and I'm hoping that they use the money wisely. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
from
for
all of it.
sure.
I think so far it's a $73 billion industry.
That is wild.
And
Insane.
those dispensaries have lines around the block
Uh-huh.
every minute of every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
wild.
It
Which
really
is
is.
it's good. I mean
Yeah,
again,
for also like, people who need it and stuff. My
Exactly.
aunt was on edibles and things like with her cancer and all of that. So like I'm all about that kind of stuff. Just personally, I don't either. You know that. I feel like my face is melting off whenever I smoke, and I just kind of just I don't know
that
what
one
I
time
turn
at the
into.
Poetry thing.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna have my cocktail or my beer.
It was so funny. She looked like this. We smoked, and then I turned around.
We
to
went
look
to
at her.
Scarlet Reserve Room because we had
Yep.
them on the show, and I tried to partake and hang with Chris, which was a really bad idea.
I was gonna say, it seems like if it was mini golf, maybe you can,
yeah,
keep up with
I
them. But
can't.
for something like that,
No, and I was just like, I can't feel my face.
You could blindfold her with dental floss.
I couldn't
oh
see.
my god,
I was like, I don't know if I'm sitting right now. Like, we need to get out of here. It was
Yeah.
so bad. Yeah.
Then what did we got something to eat and we sat in the car, or did we have food in the
Potato
car?
chips.
That's right. We had
We
snacks.
ate
in the
what's your
car.
favorite like stone snack? Like if you have a really good situation going, what do you go?
Now snack?
Yeah, what's your
I'm a
go-to
big-
munchie?
I'm a big fan of like ice pops and
Ice
like
pops?
fruity
That is
gummy,
not.
I've heard of that
I'm
on
like
like ecstasy. People liking
fruity,
ice pops.
I
fruity
don't
like
know.
Sour Patch Kids. and
Oh, but
fruit
you
by
like
the
that
foot.
sugary and like
Yeah.
chewy stuff. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm a
My
sweets
go-to
guy.
was always like Cheetos or like
Yeah.
something crunchy, salty. Yeah.
My friends always just make me take them to White Castle.
Ooh.
Seriously, or the Windmill.
Windmill.
Probably because those are the only places open late back in the day.
Windmill or
true.
like the Ruts Hut hot dog.
Ruts Hut.
Hell
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yes.
I actually just got a crave case like a month ago.
I
Probably, like, a
love
little
White
over a month ago.
Castles.
Yeah. I got a
Yeah.
crave case thinking the two of us can crush it. I'm like, this is easy.
I mean, they're tiny.
I got about 10, 11 in. I was like,
because if you think about it, like that's a lot more bread.
It's more bread.
yeah.
It's the
yeah.
bread.
I'll
Yeah.
never forget one friend of mine actually got the surf and turf sandwich from there.
Oh,
I'm
God.
like,
What's the surf and turf?
doing? And it was like a hamburger and like a fish sandwich on the same thing. I'm like, dude, you're gonna
No.
die. Like they shouldn't even have this on the menu.
He's a champion.
Yeah, that was probably like a test store. Like they
Yeah.
weren't selling that anywhere else.
Yikes.
I'm like,
The
what?
guy made that behind the counter. That
Yeah,
wasn't
right,
even
exactly.
on the
Yeah,
menu.
that was a joke
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch this asshole.
I never saw
I
the guy
went
again. Actually, now that I think of it,
He died from the surf and turf.
speculation.
Maybe.
That's a
his
lesson, kids.
stomach
Don't eat the
exploded.
surf and turf
Yeah.
at White Castle.
I went to White Castle for Valentine's Day one year because they
Yeah,
like
they
have
do the
waiters
decorating.
and
That's
they
great.
serve you at the table.
Was it the most romantic date you've ever been on?
Absolutely.
I love how white trash White Castle is on Valentine's
So
Day. I
good.
love it. I
That's
gotta
like
go
the
one
best
year.
thing to do.
I'm going one
Something
year.
like totally trashy and
Yeah.
dumb.
I've always wanted to.
I have a really, really good friend, Vanessa, who loves the chicken planks from Long John Silver's. It's like her favorite thing in the
I
world.
don't think I ever ate there.
We actually threw her a birthday party
You
at a Long John
did?
Silver's. Total surprise party. She had the best
That's-
time.
That's
Sick.
hysterical.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It was
That
good.
is sick.
Yeah.
Now I'm hungry.
I know.
Now
Now
I'm
I'm like,
hungry.
what do
What time is
I want? I need
Yeah.
to eat something.
I'm gonna end up having to stop on the way home to get some food.
This
for
is what
sure.
happened last time. We talked about Taco Bell that
And
one
then we all
time,
got.
and I
well,
was like,
you guys got Taco
I didn't
Bell.
stop. I
Oh,
didn't.
That's right, just Nick.
stopped, and he
Yeah.
sent me photos, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
dirty slut.
Do you
Yeah.
guys
Showing me
do you
pictures
guys
of
do
your
like
quesadilla.
DoorDash stuff? Do you ever do that?
We
It's so much money.
It's so crazy.
so fucking
I've
expensive.
never done it, and I'm like,
I can't do that.
A $12 meal ends up $30.
Yeah.
I'm on Monmouth Street watching all of these DoorDash drivers just park in front with their hazards on and running to all these things. I'm like, who's paying for this?
Yeah.
My cousin told me somebody that he works with DoorDashed a cup of coffee and a plain donut from Dunkin' Donuts. It was $19.
What?
It's like, who wants it that bad?
Yeah.
And then like you're complaining like, that there's no money. You know
Of
what I mean?
course,
Like,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, no way.
It's sickening.
I can't do
crazy.
Those
that.
people at DoorDash are making bank.
I mean, I get it like during the pandemic and stuff, right? It
Yeah.
made sense if you couldn't really go
Yeah.
anywhere. But
Yeah.
But like,
But like, what's
you have to
their
tip your
excuse now?
driver.
yeah.
And then
And there's a
they don't
fee.
get any of those. The driver
Yeah,
gets
no.
none of those fees. None of them.
That's how
Really?
like when I used to deliver for Domino's, people would try like not to tip me
What?
because there's like the delivery fee or
Fee,
whatever.
yeah,
but like
that's
that
not a
didn't
tip.
go to
Yeah,
us.
no, that's not a
So
tip.
you'd have to explain that. You're like, no, we don't see any of that.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's wild.
it sucks. But anyway,
Yeah.
Much thank you
Thank
very,
you so
very,
much
very
for
much.
Hope I didn't
coming
overstay my
on.
welcome.
No,
Never,
please
no.
tell the folks where they can find you.
Yeah.
13 Monmouth Street. Red Bank, New Jersey, right across from Johnny Pork Roll, C'est La Vie, and the Dublin House.
Yes.
Are you online?
Oh, relicmusicshop.com. Sorry. I'm still new at this
No,
whole
that
promoting
No,
too.
that's fine.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Relicmusicshop.com. Instagram is Relic Music Shop. It's all basically Relic Music Shop. And it's spelled correctly with a just SHOP, no clever PPE at the end. It's just regular shop.
Sick. And we'll put that on.
I've
No
had
frou-frou.
people ask. No, I've had people say, like, oh, is it SHOPPE? That's cute. I'm like, no.
No,
it's not.
It's just
no.
shop.
It's just a
we
shop.
mean
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll put that all in the description.
Awesome. Thank you.
No, thank you very
And
much.
you guys are welcome to come by anytime. Seriously, open invite if you wanted to do a live podcast. from there or
Yeah, that
something.
would be awesome.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Of
Thank
course.
you so much.
You got it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, thank you again for sticking around. And, now that I'm back, Maria's back, we're gonna be pushing out a lot more content. And till next time.
And please don't hate them if this episode stinks. It was all my fault.
Oh my God.
Stop,
It's not.
stop. No, this was, I really had fun with this.
Okay,
I
good.
really did. I really did. Guys, stay clouded.